Let's talk about Conquest Volume 17. This one's a brutal one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope the Conquest Vital Teams video helped to some extent for your preparation for this. Not that we've had a ton of time. Unfortunately, they took out some of the really consistent things. Like there's no hokey religion, so that was something I talked on a bunch. This is the first Conquest I think ever that does not have a hokey religion's feat on any bosses or main bosses. So that unfortunately I will say, but we're going to be making great use out of Jedi Master Luke and out of Ray and things like that we talked about in that video. So we'll talk about first we'll talk through the feats, and then we're going to talk about what teams I'm using on my alt account, which is 9 million GP. I know that's still big compared to a lot of people that are looking up guides for this kind of thing. But I am missing a lot of the things needed here, so you'll be able to see some of the ways I'm going to cheese some of the feats so that we can still get the 530 box. Hopefully, it's going to be tough. Main account, we will be max grading, and I'll walk through all the teams we're using that as well. So we're going to go Conquest feats, alt account team plan, what feats we're skipping, and then main account team plan and what feats we're skipping. So let's start here with our feats. So we'll start with the global feats. That is always the most important aspect here. 250 enemies on the golden challenge path. That's a freebie. 15 banners, freebie. 20 battles with full squad Night Sisters. If you have Night Sisters, this is easy. Even without Marin, this is easy. If you don't have Night Sisters, this is not easy. You're not going to be able to do it, really. I mean, I don't think you'd be able to, like, panic gear your Night Sisters to gear 12 for this. I don't think that's something that's feasible. So that's minus 15 right away if you don't have Night Sisters, which my alt account does not, and we'll talk about it. Stagger 100 times. You should be able to find a team that does stagger. Mara Jade, Basilishan Fallen. There are single, stagger sources as well, but those are going to be the two semi AoE staggers off the top of my head that most people have at least one of those. 20 battles of full Imperial Remnant. If you have Imperial Remnant, great. If you don't, minus 15. 4 Gungans. Anyone can do this if you have a GL you can spare. Sith Eternal is probably a good one here. He doesn't get used a lot in Conquest, so Sith Eternal will help you cheese this. We will talk about that. If you have Jar Jar, though, obviously, then use Jar Jar. And that's 16 that you get from that. And these are also the ones, if you were to buy the Conquest Plus Pass, these are the feats it would complete. So unfortunately, it's the 2 easy cheesable feats that it would give you, so you don't even really get any value for buying it. Win 15,000 Master Qui-Gon Jinn surviving. That's cheesable via a JMK or JML array. That's kind of the go-to there. That'll be 16. JML is going to get really, really tired this Conquest. So now we're going to go look at Sector 1. Tenacity down 50 times. That one's easy. 10 battles of Morgan Elsbeth surviving. Cheesable. 5. Decay 50 times. I don't think this is going to be easily cheesable without some Zetas and things like that on your Imperial Remnant, so I'm going to say you probably have to skip that. Defeat 35 enemies with Gungans. This can be cheesed with JML if you need to, but try to skip it if you can. Remember, you can skip 34 tickets and get max crate, or you can skip 134 and get second for max. So 134 skips kind of your goal. So as you hear me read these off, if you want to jot down, all right, there's minus 15 for Imperial Remnants, there's minus 15 for Night Sisters, minus 5 for Decay, and kind of see where you're at. 35 Gungans, you may be able to do it and you may not. It's one of those where you could cheese it with JML, but that's a lot. That's a lot of battles. Even if you get all 5 kills, even if you get all 35 kills, 5 per battle, that's 7 battles. Almost. A little bit less. So, or no, it's right at 7. But you're not going to get exactly 5 every single time. You're going to wind up getting 3, 2, whatever. If you have a Gungan that's good enough to even drain your stamina low enough to even get that. So that's going to be a hard one. Maybe we'll get lucky and the boss will be like easily cheesable, but for now it's probably going to have to be a skip for most people. I'm going to have to do it on my alt, but we'll talk more about that. Full squad of Geos, that's probably doable. Sector 1 for most people. Even with Gear 12 Geos and you don't necessarily have some relics, you can probably manage a Sector 1 mini boss. Light side characters, full, that's easy. Defeat an enemy with Queen Amidala. If you have Queen Amidala, cheesable. If you don't, you literally can't do the feat. But yeah, you can use JML, granted, get a kill with her. That won't be that bad. Gungan Bombardier surviving, cheesable. Sector 2, bonus turns 50 times. Should be easy with Darth Vader. He's getting Merciless Massacre. That's a ton of bonus turns. There's lots of other ways to get bonus turns, but to me, that's the one that immediately is like, okay, that's easy with that. 35 kills of Morgan Elsbeth. You're not going to be able to do it unless you have Morgan. Or some other, way to cheese that, but JML is not going to be able to help you with that, so it's going to be a skip for the majority of people. Alert 20 times. Similar boat. gonna be a skip for most people, and that's Imperial Remnants. So that's tied to Enoch. Alert is tied to Enoch, or at least that Imperial, like Enoch's Imperial Remnant team, I guess I should say. Decay and Alert are both tied to Enoch's Imperial Remnant team. Breach 50 times. Afra and JML are going to be your two units there. JML, you'll be using a ton anyway. If you don't have JML, I'm sorry. This is going to be brutal without him. No other real good way to put it. Win a match with Death Troop pretty surviving. That's easy. That's a cheese, whether that's JML or Ray with Watt or something like that. Master Qui-Gon and Qui-Gon Jr. squad, they don't need to survive. That one's easy. 2 banners. They die, whatever, who cares? You get your 2 banners. One with dark side characters, easy. Defeat enemy Captain Tarpals, it's cheesable, probably. Again, the cheesable on all these bosses is assuming that it's not like Lord Vader or JMK or something you're fighting. You know, we can't see the bosses yet, so it's hard to say for certain. Evasion up 50 times. CLS or Bastila, or not, yeah, Bastila Echo, and so that's Bad Batch Echo, and Seventh Sister. So there's lots of ways to get evasion up. 15 battles of Night Sister Acolyte surviving. It's cheesable. Retaliate 15 times. That is only on Gungan Phalanx, and he only gives it to other Gungans. That is going to be hard to do unless you've got geared Gungans and starred Gungans. That'll be a hard one. Full Geos. You'll probably need at least a partially relic Geo team. We've had this feat in the past, and it's really hard to do if you don't have partial relics on Geos. I don't, so that's going to be a problem for my alt account. Win with Morgan Elsbeth surviving. Should be cheesable. Win with Captain Enoch. He doesn't need to survive. That's definitely easy. Win with Queen Vidal surviving. Cheesable if you have her. If you don't have her, you're going to have to skip it. Win with no supports. That should be easy. Tenacity up 50 times. That's a joke. Keller and Beck surviving. Easily cheesable because he's a Jedi and he's Galactic Republic. Lots of ways to cheese that one. Attempt to inflict or gain blight 40 times. So that's Night Trooper. In Enoch's team, I think is the main source of blight. Same thing as if you don't have them built and you don't have Zetas and stuff, I don't think that's something you'll be able to do. And we may get into Conquest and we may find ways to cheese blight and alert and that kind of thing. Maybe you just need like Gear 8 or Gear 9, which doesn't need any Chirotech with maybe 1 Zeta or something. But this is my initial look at these, you know, how we want to approach this and plan starting today, building for Monday. 39 Sister kills, no way to cheese that. You got Night Sisters or you don't. Win a full way Galactic Republic, full squad Galactic Republic, easy enough. Jar Jar surviving. If you have Jar Jar, great. If you don't, you don't. If you have Jar Jar surviving, a lot of these other feats are also super. If you have Jar Jar, a lot of these are super easy. But if you don't, you also have to skip this one. Win without Empire, that's easy. Win with DTMG surviving. If you have them, great. If you don't, out of luck. Accuracy up 50 times is plenty earnable. That's fine. Plague 100 times. You could like take Talzin up because it's a tempt. You could like take Talzin up to Gear 12, toss her in a team with a bunch of tanks, and her get 1 AoE off every battle. That's 5. That would be really long, really painful. But I want to say the door is open for you to potentially cheese this if you had to. But it's probably not going to go well. Let me move my webcam to the other side so you guys can see the Sector 5 stuff easier. Defeat enemies with Death Troop Perdia. That's not happening. 15 battles of Geo Spy surviving. That should be easy. Even if your Spy is only Gear 12 late model accounts, you should be able to cheese that. Defeat enemy with POW. You can call him with JML. Granted, that should be fine. No Galactic Republic should be fine. Lutheran Rail. You got Lutheran. You don't. Then that's 5 key cards for not getting him in the first 3 conquests. Full squad of Gungans. Full squad means you have to have Jar Jar. So we got 2 of these that require Jar Jar straight up. So that's as fast as I can burn through the feats. And now let's get on to the teams. We're going to cut, and we'll be looking at my alt account teams. And we're back. All right. So this is the alt account for me. Reminder, 9.4 million. Quick look at the account. Well, good account, but not in-game. Missing a lot of stuff for this conquest. So we're going to have to do a lot of real fun things. This is me skipping exactly 134, and I don't have squad saved in here for the mini bosses and bosses. I'll talk about what I can't get when I'm skipping. Global feats. We are getting the 250 gold path kills. We're skipping the Night Sisters. We're getting the stagger, and that's this team. So global sector 2. We got sector 2 feat they'll be working toward also. We are skipping 20 Imperial Remnant full team survives. We are getting the 4 Gungans surviving, and we'll be using Sith Eternal for that. I will have to gear up one of them probably. I think Boomadir was my plan because he has many buffs people. We'll talk more about that later. 15 with Master Qui-Gon surviving. Put him with Rey. Feels like an easy enough option. I may have to gear him up a little bit, give him some mods. That's fine. And same thing, I may have to toss some mods on there, gear him up a little bit, or at least as far as they can go without counter attack. Sector 1, Tenacity down. CLS. Chewie has it on his basic. That's an easy one. 10 Morgan Elsbeth survives. We already have JML doing another thing here, so we need another cheese team. We're going to do JMK because he will have GK taunting a bunch. If we have problems with this, we will have to borrow Ray when we get done with Qui-Gon and do Ray with like Holdo and Watt and like force a tank tech on Holdo. But JML's already stretched really thin here, so we just can't use him. Can't use them for the Morgan one and the Boomadir, and then again in the next sector, it just won't work stamina wise. It's gonna be a problem. So we'll see. This may have problems, but It's also only a 5, so we can circle back to at the end. It's only 10 battles she has to survive. This is going to be tough. So this is the 35 Gungan kill. So I'll be taking Boomadir up probably as high as I can, and at least giving him health mods so he doesn't die. But as high as I can without mods, because he's got another feat later. We are skipping the 50 to K. The mini boss is Geos, and I've got me skipping that. So that's full Geos for the mini boss here, which we may be able to do. I'm not entirely sure. Mini boss only light side we can do no problem. The QA kill we'll have to cheese. She's Ligure. I may take her up a little bit. Then the boss is a Boomadir survives, so that's hopefully the gear putting into him will pay off on that. Sector 2, we've got 50 bonus turns. Darth Vader will be knocking out that, and that's why it has Sector 2 marked on it there. We're skipping 35 Morgan kills. We're skipping 20 alert. We are getting 50 breach with this JML team. We are getting the mini boss Desert Purdy survive. We'll have to cheese that with JML. We are getting the mini boss using Master Qui-Gon and Qui-Gon, and we'll put him in whatever SLK or something. Just save stamina and all other stuff. They don't need to survive. It's fine. Boss only dark side. That's fine. We'll have no problem getting that boss Tarpal, getting it, kill Captain Tarpal. We will have to use JML for that, and I typically come back and get boss and mini boss feats at the end. Sector 3, and I'm trying to burn through this as quick as I can, I promise. Sector 3, we are getting our evasion up using CLS when Han Solo shrugs. He gives evasion up to the entire team, so that'll be our evasion up. 15 Acolyte survives. I'll probably need to, no problem. I'll need to take Acolyte up to like a reasonable gear level and get the survives to slap some mods on, that kind of thing. But we'll be able to cheese that survives. We cannot get the Retaliate, like I mentioned, going through that's a phalanx thing pretty much. We are skipping the 15 full Geos because my Geos look like this, and there's no way that I am getting full Geo wins in Sector 3. It's just not happening. Let's see. We are getting the mini boss Morgan Elsbeth survive. Use Enoch on the mini boss as well. We're getting the QA survive on the boss. The QA no support. Sorry, the boss no support feat also should be easy. Sector 4, 50 tenacity up. And 15 Beck survives. We'll use this. I'll take Beck up a little bit, but this should be no problem. He's Galactic Republic, and he's a Jedi. Should be able to handle this with JMK and not have to worry. JML give him a second to cool down. We may need to come back and hit more of these feats in Sector 4. So that'll give JML a second to recoup stamina before we get back into Sector 5 and go back to using him. So we should be able to get it with these. We are skipping 40 Blight, 30 Night Sister kills. We are doing the mini boss full Galactic Republic feat, the mini boss Jar Jar surviving. We're skipping because we don't have Jar Jar. The No Empire and the boss we're doing, and the boss DTMG I can't do because I don't have DTMG. Excuse me. He is not unlocked. We are not close to getting him unlocked. I did not do well on his conquest on this account because I was really busy on this account during that time. We've only recently started going hard for conquest, so on this account, main account, expert. This account, not so much. All right, so Sector 5. Accuracy up. We're using Ray with Bastila GMY. So Bastila gives accuracy up to Grandmaster Yoda, then he spreads it, and we'll get should we get 7 of it per that combo. So Bastila spreads it to Yoda, he gets it, she gets it, then he spreads it to the whole team, so that's 7 per. We need it 50 times. It won't take that long for them to get that done. Skipping the Plague, skipping the Death Troop Perdia kills. We are getting the Geo Spy survives. Gear 12 should be enough with a JML cheese to get that done. We are getting the Padawan Obi-Wan kill on the mini boss. We're getting the Galactic Republic on the mini boss. We cannot do the Lutheran Rail or full Gungan survives on the boss. So there we go. 8 minutes. That is everything we're doing, and this gets me box below max on my alt account. You could obviously change quite a few of these things around. There are other ways to get the evasion up. There are other ways to get the stagger. To me, this felt like it made the most sense. You could change up what cheese you're doing for Qui-Gon. You could probably slap him in SLK or something. He's a reasonably durable character, and you may just have a little bit of trouble. You may drop him occasionally, but you could probably get away. But Rey's going to be the safest option here. This is going to be a really hard one. The Gungan kills using one Gungan with the granted ability is going to be really hard. This may have to get changed. I may have to use a different cheese team to keep Morgan alive. I may have to circle back with JML. I may have to do some Rey with Watt. I may have to do like SLK with Watt, do like SLK, Colorado Master Watt, Hawks and Morgan, and stick the tank tech on Colorado Master or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll need some team without an AoE, almost certainly. And you can't really use her Night Sisters because she taunts. So if you had like Night Sisters, but your Morgan was low gear, she's gonna taunt. So you can't really use her there. You do have to use her outside Night Sisters if she's gonna be low gear, and don't want to risk dying. The rest of this should be really cheesable. I just need to invest a little bit of gear in Beck, Acolyte, Elsbeth, Boomadir, Qui-Gon, and some of the other mini boss feats. Sorry, I just got notified of planned maintenance for my internet that I'll have to look at later. All right, we will be back with the main account. And we're back. All right, this is the main account. 12 million. Got everything. We're not skipping hardly anything. The only feats we're skipping, I think, are the Morgan Elsbeth kills and the Destro Perdia kills. So that's like 20 feats worth of things that we're skipping. We're getting IR global from this team, as well as the alert, the decay, and the blight. We're getting the retaliate here, as well as the Gungan kills, as well as the global. We're getting the global for Master Qui-Gon surviving. We're getting bonus turns from QA, as well as modifying this in Sector 4 to put Beck in here to get the Beck survives. And the tenacity up from GMY. So this will cover a lot that we're going to use throughout Conquest. This will cover more of the bonus turns, as well as the global for stagger. So that should progress really well on that. This will get our Night Sister global, as well as as well as a swapping Acolyte in here for the Sector 3 Acolyte survive. So we'll put Acolyte in here over like over Zombie or Ventress or something like that, because Acolyte is a relic for me on this account from the Light Speed bundle with Night Sisters. So I get my Acolyte survives here, and then Sector 4 we will get the Night Sister kills, and Sector 5 will get the Plague. Global for Dark Trimoff Gideon. Basically, this is also going to contribute to the 20 Imperial Remnant global feat, because I just don't know how easy this is going to be to do 20 wins, get 1 or 2 a day, progress toward the Blight and the Decay and all that. And this will be able to work a bit later, as well as it will actually also work toward accuracy up in Sector 5. He has an AoE accuracy up, so that's fun. Sector 1, this will get me my tenacity down from Geo Soldier, as well as progressing the full Geo in Sector 3, and the Spy survives in Sector 5. I don't know why that's a lowercase s. That should be a capital S, because he's the main source of that feat. Sector 1, we're also going to get tenacity down with CLS, as well as evasion up. Same as the alt account. So we got 2 sources of tenacity down here. Should get through that, no problem. Morgan Elsbeth survives. Bonus turns and breach. So JML has breach. Cal has bonus turn. General Anakin's got bonus turns. At the very least, we might not get a bunch of bonus turns, and we've got the Vader thing getting most of the bonus turns, but we'll get a bunch of breach, and we'll get a few bonus turns. Sector 3, we also have Acolyte survives here in case we have problems with our Night Sisters getting the Sector 3 Acolyte survives. Just going to use one of those 2. This might wind up being easier for me. I just don't know how easy or hard this is going to be for Acolyte to be in, like take out one of these core members. So this is kind of on standby if I need it. And then Sector 5, this is the Geo Spy surviving. And Sector 5, that's my accuracy up. Seer gives everyone accuracy up on her basic. Eighth Brother gets some accuracy up on his abilities. So they should just be able to survive and just churn a bunch of accuracy up. And if I have real problems, there's other ways to get accuracy up. You saw the Bastila thing on my other account, but it's not a lot of teams from a main account. There's so much overlap here. It's almost all Gungans, Imperial Remnant, and Geos. It's super overlappy. But that's where we landed on the main account here. So longer video than I wanted to be, but I went through it as quick as I could. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some inspiration for your teams. If you are stuck on a specific feat and you need some help or you want to ask some advice, the comments are always there, and I think I replied to pretty much every comment, if not all. So if you have a question about a team of like how are you planning to get this with this team or what gear level you think you need to take this to, I'm happy to answer any of those questions in the comments. And I hope this helps. I plan for this to go up Saturday, and hopefully that will give you a lot of Saturday morning. Hopefully they'll give you Saturday and Sunday to plan for Conquest. I hope it goes well. I hope you get the box you want. Remember the 530 box, exactly like my alt account, skipping 134. That's the goal. That's getting him before he leaves Conquest for rewards without having to spend money. Anything less than that's going to be tough to get him. Maybe you could buy the Conquest Plus Pass if you can't somehow get those other feats, but those other feats should be cheesable. But then also, you get the extra rewards from the $10 pass. I don't know. There may be some other way to get him, but skip 134 tickets. That's the goal. Good luck, and I will see you guys on the hall tables.